This is the second time I'm gonna have to make a video like this, but about a year and a half ago, I made a video titled Jimmy Butler Deserves an Apology. If you wanna go watch it, I advise you that the production quality and the audio quality is nowhere near anywhere I have right now. It sounds like I recorded that in a trash can, so beware. But the premise of the video was talking about a lot of the media and how they tried to portray Jimmy and how technically he was right about the Minnesota situation, the Philadelphia situation, and finding a way to the Miami Heat, a team that it's built for him. His personality shows that he's definitely a top 10 player in the NBA, and he's definitely not the locker room cancer that they try to paint him as. I'd like to talk about a feature that I just recently added to my channel, which is Super Thanks. Super Thanks is a feature that YouTube just added that allows you guys to not only support the channel and me as a creator, but it gives you guys the ability to highlight what you guys want to say to me and maybe questions that you want me to answer or stuff of that nature. It gives you a highlighted comment in the comment section down below. It wants you to donate and whatever you want to say. In the next video, I will at the end of it answer a lot of you guys questions, or what do you guys think of my opinion on any single team or whatever is going on in the NBA at that time. So if you guys do want to support the channel in a single way possible, I really appreciate it. All you have to do is hit that button. But again, this is no way trying to force you guys to support the channel at all. Just watching this video is done amazing things for me, so thank you. But let's get on to the video. But it seems like all it took was a pretty bad first round exit to the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that he handled the year before in the bubble really well, in a COVID-riddled year where you had very little offseason at all, for people to forget just how good Jimmy Butler was. And coming to this year, after having another career year and dismantling the Hawks in the first round, and let's just face it, the guys that he left before in Karl-Anthony Towns and Ben Simmons have been nothing but disappointment since, we starting to realize just how right Jimmy Butler was again. But we're not going to go back to those old situations that we need to talk about. We already talked about that before. There's been videos made about it before. We're going to talk about this situation specifically and the backlash that came after it.
Erik Spoelstra extremely agitated right now. The Warriors have scored the first 13 points.
The Miami Heat had this explosive exchange against the Golden State Warriors on the bench where Jimmy Butler, Udonis Haslem, Coach Erik Spoelstra were all in a shouting match that looked like they were ready about to tear each other's faces off. And the NBA media and the fans alike picked this up and ran with it. Jimmy Butler again was labeled the locker room cancer. News came out that Jimmy Butler somehow hated Victor Oladipo for some reason. News came out that Jimmy Butler, if the Miami Heat didn't have a successful playoff run, may ask for a trade this summer. I don't know where that came from, but the news kept piling in more and more, and people started pushing the Jimmy Butler is a locker room cancer vibe again without any real context. Immediately, Coach Erik Spoelstra went to the media and told him, this is just a normal thing for the Miami Heat. You should see what their practices are like. Him and Udonis Haslem were very much good again the next game. Even though the Miami Heat were on a very big slide after that explosive conversation in the middle of the court, the Miami Heat were about to come back in that game, even though they eventually did still lose it. But people just seem to want to forget that this was in the middle of what was a couple game slide for the Miami Heat, and it was an explosive time where the team wasn't playing up to standard, and people's emotions got the better of them, and it came out on the court when that is something that probably should be kept in locker room and in practice. But it didn't stop the media and everyone else to run with the narrative. So it always just seemed like it wasn't enough. No matter how many times he proved the media or the people that doubted him wrong, they were still gonna come back. After the whole Minnesota situation, that team severely proved that they needed him to win, and that he was completely right in the fact that they were not ready and that they were soft. After the Philadelphia situation, Ben Simmons proved everybody right that he is the reason that team is not successful and that they should have definitely tried to re-sign Jimmy Butler. And after all the criticism about going to Miami, saying that he's going there for a vacation and there's going to be constant first round exits, he proved that he can be the best player on a championship team and leads them all the way to the NBA Finals. And then all it took after all 3 of those years of constantly proving people wrong was one bad playoff run and a tiny fight on the court on what is a first seed in the conference at the time, for everybody to forget every single thing that Jimmy Butler consistently proved to them. And then in the first round, everybody was talking about either the Miami Heat don't have the best player in the series, that's Trae Young, or that the Miami Heat don't have a closer, And then going into the first round of these NBA playoffs, people still were doubting him, and they just did not learn. All the conversations pointed to the fact that, oh, the Atlanta Hawks probably have the best player in this series, or, oh, the Miami Heat don't have a closer, but the Atlanta Hawks do in Trae Young. Again, completely forgetting who they were talking about. And Jimmy Butler decided to prove all of them wrong again, coming out game 1 with 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists and 3 steals, being a plus 27 in that game, and winning that game by basically destroying the Atlanta Hawks and locking Trae Young down completely by 24 points. And then game 2 came the absolute masterclass stamping performance, showing that Jimmy Butler is that guy. 45 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals on 15 for 25 shooting, 4 for 7 from 3, 11 from 12 from the free throw line. A plus 19 in a game that the Miami Heat won by 10. And even in a game 3 loss, he almost had a triple-double. And then again, in a game 4 win, he had 36 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, a block on 12 for 20 on shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, and again 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Again, proving to everybody why not only is he that guy, and why you should never doubt a team that has Jimmy Butler on the other side of it. And of course, the playoffs aren't over. The Miami Heat still have a lot of things to prove with Jimmy Butler on it. As of right now, they walked through the first round. After game 1, I think a lot of people realized just how good this team was. And as a first seed, they have a lot of things to live up to. In the second round, 76ers don't have Joel Embiid. So people expect the Miami Heat to definitely take care of business as of right now. And it's going to lead to a lot of excuses of people saying the Miami Heat don't deserve to be in the conference finals when they do make it there. So he has a lot of things to prove. But right now, with the way the Miami Heat are playing, with how they're flowing on offense, and with how everybody's contributing, and with how well Jimmy Butler is playing, minus the last game, that's his only bad playoff game so far, we have to remember that you never doubt this team when Jimmy Butler's on the other side of it. We've strived as underdogs, and I think a lot of people are underrating this team when it comes to the Eastern Conference. Everybody's talking about the Milwaukee Bucks or the Boston Celtics, while the number 1 seed is lost in the mix as the pretenders of this conference. So don't be surprised when you see the Miami Heat probably in the NBA Finals, or don't be surprised when Jimmy Butler is the guy leading them there. But that's really all I have to say. This video is a little bit different than I normally do. It's a little bit more rant based because I've seen a lot of this disrespect on Jimmy Butler's name and the Miami Heat in general, and I don't know why. But again, I can tell you this team is probably going to prove a lot of this noise wrong. I can say they're probably going to get out of this second round series if Embiid does come back in game 3 to 4, probably in 5 to 6 games at the very most. Be careful if it's not 4. But with that being said, it's FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.